Okay, this is the Tuesday homework check for the level 3, quarter 4, week 4. We're starting with Tuesday, rounding to the nearest 10. You know that our trick is to underline the tens place, circle the digit to the right. We can go ahead and put down the 6. Nothing's changing with the 6, but the 7 might change. The 8 is high enough to bump up the 7 to an 8, and that 8 becomes a 0. Now, whoops, erase that. Now we're ready to underline the hundreds place. Circle the digit to the right. The 7 is high enough to bump that 6 up to a 7. Everything else becomes zeros. Moving on to the next one, 298. Looky here. Sometimes you can't go ahead and write down a digit because even though it's not the one we're dealing with, it might change too. Because look, we have to look at this kind of like 29. And 8 is high enough to bump this up to a 30. What really happened was 8 is high enough to bump the 9 up to a 10. And when you carry that 1, you've got 30. And everything else becomes zeros. All right, let me erase those markings. Now we're ready to underline the hundreds place. Circle the digit to the right. The 9 is high enough to bump that up to a 3. Everything else becomes zeros. So that was the same answer for both 10 and hundreds. All right, now moving on to the next one. Circle the tens place. We're not going to deal with the 3. It's going to be okay. 5 is high enough to bump the 0 up to a 1, and it becomes a 0. Okay. And the last one. Underline the hundreds place, but the 0 is not high enough to bump that up. It stays the same. Everything else becomes 0. So pretty cool there. There are 48 cookies at the holiday party. 8 of the party guests are going to share the cookies. How many cookies will each guest receive? So I see share, I see each guest, 48 cookies, and 8 party guests are going to share them. So we do 48 cookies divided among 8 guests. Something times 8 is 48. Why, it's 6, and the word label we need is cookies. Okay, finding the quotient, because we know dividend divided by the divisor equals the quotient. And we like to read these backwards. Something times 7 is 28. Too late, 28. 7 is the fireman, and 4 is his fire pole. Slides right down. Okay, 60 divided by 6 equals blank. Something times 6 is 60. Well, that's 10. Okay, 11, something times 11 equals 66. That would be 6 times 11 equals 66. And here's my favorite. Something times 8 equals 56. It's a bouncy guy bouncing on his double-sided trampoline, onto his diving board, into his swimming pool right there. 56. Draw a fraction that is equivalent to 1/4. So if you have to draw it, here's what you do. You go ahead and do the 1/4, just like they did. And what we're going to do is split each of these pieces in half. So watch. Each of those fourths gets cut in half. And now we have to color in the same amount as the other one. It's got to take up the same amount of area there. So it looks like we match now. But now I've got 2 pieces out of 8 altogether. And you know our doubling trick for making equivalent fractions? So it would look like this. Double 1 is 2. Double the 4, you get 8. So 1/4 is equivalent to 2 eighths. And our picture also shows this, our model. All right, Buddy the dog ate 1/3 of a bowl of food. Freddie the dog ate 1/4 of a bowl of food. Who ate more food? So here's what we're doing, 1/3. We're going to do a comparison symbol in the middle. We know when we compare fractions, we do our stacked rectangles. So on the top one, going to do 1/3. Color in one of them. The bottom one, we're going to do fourths and color in one of them. And now it's plain to see that 1/3 is greater than 1/4. So final answer, who ate more food? We don't say 1/3, we say Buddy ate more food. Right, we've already done the elapsed time, so we're going to move on to the next one. For snack, Carlos is eating a banana and a bowl of grapes. The banana has a mass of 75 grams, and the grapes have a mass of 48 grams. What is the total mass of Carlos's snack? Total means we need to put it all together. So we're going to do 75 grams plus 48 grams. 5 and 8 is 13. 7 and 4 is 11 plus 1 is 12. So the final answer is 123 grams. That's what his snack is. Find the perimeter, rim, a rim around the outside, and area. Okay, so let's do perimeter first. I'm going to do P equals. I'm going to start here. That's my trick, and add all these up. So 2 plus 7 plus 7 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8. And then we're going to add all these up. See, combinations of 10. Look here, 2 sets of 10. And then also 14. So 20 and 14 is 34 centimeters. Okay, now we're going to do area. We know area equals length times width, but we have to subdivide it into 2 rectangles. You could do that horizontally or vertically. I think I'm going to go horizontally. The longest side here on this one is 7, and the width is 2, so we're going to do 2 times 7. The bottom one is 1 times 9. Look at there. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 9 is 23 centimeters squared for area. So we have 2 answers on this one, the area and the perimeter. And notice, area is the only one that we put squared on. And that's it for today.